Kato la kola Gambia masa kunda me yaron ko wala be siri ngebi ya simpamenta tuka ID kato di bantala banko nimmanyina wata betana ka saban nani ko man ko kumo ni natal ko ba sama mu tenia bari biya mu tenia ko molla to siata banna miro to mo jamata ko tan wala ko inyom banku don men yalon ko ten andum fawle ko makon bela audio mo le hanata ide ya ko ID kato manke te la sula poti je bar mu tella banku la kayto ila ta gambe masa kunda min mu tena masa kunda wala kata police so no jamen to bar gambe masa kunda ngadi ko ID kato ko mana ko weke banku di mo man pinti na kisanta male bari ko man na pinti ka masa kunda ke tonton pour ya stop bar biri borin ko laje masa kunda me alon ko amang ID kato sindino afango dingole men bank sidi banko kanjam nataje ko ministra mado dibte ko moto dibito la nyini karo ko la ay fem banke dige men ngantel konsan ko men ngatu na nata dang kasijang katbatala ta ko man di dunia kata men ngan konsan wala min ko na experience men soto banko la kaito soto la ko le ala karola ayatunna ngaje ko abe umayala le kunna na nimbang ko dingole wo miro tala do tem abo ko la banko ma sakuna be sidi jebi banko do be metam imam ID kato dino wala niya apply ya dundi abala ngamira ko mare ne kato janno mi ka ID kato yu seta bank ye ko do yele ko do tano je janno mu niya ko do kiye ye ID kato na man se ko le ta ko la janno mu ni be tamala ka base internally ID kato is a requirement for so kan ni kan ni ba dingol ko ma nyata ka dinya men ni wol ko be tintel le katama minister ka ka gabon ne the next phase is Gabon Congo Togo animo dan sato le kataw le kana ko so na kisi siro be ni ko Central African Banko Gambia la ID card ko manke sula poti wala requirement pour ka wala kay to ni mana la jesi card so ni anda Gambia kay to ID card ko manke sula poti passeport ni visa ina ko so la bulla pour yo la kay to so no ni taraje muni atna Gambia ma sekunda bi unda jam ibitala wo banko par pour que Gambia ID card ko ni wala ibadi kala même banka wala para mu woni ko me ibadi kala le for free wol man traffic ko kanji so muni atna dépense ko mal ko la ko jiele mana parce que na dépense me amon ko ka dum ko jito ko la ni mantra amantra sa ni amantra apu free ko do ni ka ko ndimi dole ba ko ni nyata ka dum même fana kana ko ma do mi ko ñing banko la ñing kay to ñinte même kala nay national ID card de ka di bantala banko to akamunda ko dorom kula melo ko ay na banko la carte fay kamo mana electoral integrity ayo masala di bakele ale banko fana la tanko fana ko fana ko melo ko ayo fana jara jara muna na wosilandi wala mi ko banko la tanko kisiro la tan ko ni be banko la kay to di la ni ma di ni silo la me ala ko le mo verification ti aninka amaro scrutinize akamata ko don isa dino mola mo me ala ko asdene la banko to tinyala wala scrutinize la banko to yala astana maro banke banko di moti andu ni okata di man la kamando so dañi wala mo ngel ordinary citizen de me ala ko ka tama astana mangi minister mangi permanent secretary mangi president ko fana ka president woni minister lo tamala woto problem si ba woto ma be la ya ko la banda banko bar ndelu men yaron ko ndeli katama kata bay bay mo tare ndeli ba am mo so maji so ni ngata o problem benaka bang kudi won ngadi ko ko mala ba tele ko ngawuli ngalon simple ka ngama sakunda ko mandi pour ya stop ikana ko bar même ko mo ko me yaron ko ani ko wata ko ni ko la wala mi ko ni ma sakunda ila lack of transparency ila langi mandir baliya ko because ko pro milita ko wala mi ko ni ngata jaka ko banko la masukunda ko den rap banko la kaydo di bantar banko inyanda ka ko min ko banko di wala mi ko Gambia di ngel do banko kanje ko Gambia di naka mo mi beji mo jele ko la me abon ko amang Gambia la ID card wala man Gambia card so fa jaka telier ye buli jam ikata ID card di wala for free ka moldu jamne alon ko la sula buba ko bara an ay ka ko le fana fala kasia na miro de kata dal so ni ma nyim ko non kele ni ne na sota wala ko ka ko me anyati ngam 2026 akamondo ko duma so na mesiri njibi hammol be tarale to le ko ruling party ni ya afebo ni kaito la karo ka ko ID card ko me ngapa nyamela ni mo be siri ko gabon ko ka bempol man la bo ni ka ko ka la kula ay boras ka so na miro do membe de mi ala ko mata fel ID card e bo li usala se ko am ko mata boras ka so ndum pa na ngalon ko be de mi ala ko mata ba wala mi ko biri ni masa ko na sita ya bilo pay panta ya wala bondi ke bilo ko la men ko men ta close 14 ka ko na election bil ko la biri ya bondi je ma ko warte kamba so na silo be ngalo mi ilafta ke isempo lonne bandala bankol kan janni kana so ni kola me mu diaspora ko ni mo dum ko mo kana fu ko do ya election bil ni close 14 yaari je la hani supreme court ruling ila kido ya tan le ko banko dimon membe bandala bankol ko ila hakkole mo kuriya ka tewta ka fay donc loi la pour banko dimon ka tew fay particularly presidential election porque presidential election we only have one constituency wala Gambia because president gilla kany so ni na ta wala musabatani donc même de mi ko ni la xammo be mo ndi ngamen soudé yi wala mi ko ka koma sinota ka kayto di molla isaji iswota ya won data de block la e be may use la pour que nas mat ndiro ke bantala banko bang dem ko mesiri wala ka ta wala amba hakko ti wala ka wala so ni ngata wala ko nyata na jero do won kul me alon ko ibe banko ma sakunda de use gam ka advantage ta ka use against ila donyo li sinalo in mil nyata ka place ni ni wala ando na jero to woni loi man nyota so nata woni loi man nyota fonde ngata ka silba ngaje ko jini ni loi nyaari ko la yeba da nyana fa pare utum ndil ngana ani wote but ni ngani ko mol sira was mol mandra nyala ma ko kam because ngaje ko be menke ka is very genuine then ni ya associate political party wala o mol la hakole ji ila miral nyale fana mo jondor fana but même ko mar fa ko mata ning atan leftal nga ko political party to yala ndo ajata ka kero to yala ba kala le misala na woni but ni aje ba ke kam ning ka foto yala aka mo do political party lim da man tan ko la ka political party ru anim banku din dolu wolle tam de betti so be gambe la carte fakate boli use kam carte fakate la use ni gambe la carte boli use kam anunia use asin kana tan bela tam ko nyimta ka masla ni maboko kanyam ni na mantra silala pour ka si camera ya no ka ko andu mantra dan ni fana dama ba ni musim ba ko so wokono la nataje ko abi kumala ba ko ngam gambe masakunda ko mandi through the Ministry of Interior kat minister ni ana ay commandiro ke immigration la kule ni ko nyinta ya londi akana ko dum yalla ko continue ko school me yalla na banko tan ko ta aslandi ay na banko la electoral integrity ayo kana silandi and new kan dron ko banko le kana masibo fe soma so bento itellum ya kama men tawol mi ko banko dingol be talale ka tilingetema ila do kuoto anila alhalu so wole atuna biri nyim ko keda ngaje ko mol bin yalon ko lebina le benefit la nyim ID card la ko la askeno ajama babe ji tani bangol men be kante wolte kala Gambia ko par Gambia ko be misilo bangol kanje wol fanani bangol dum sir ne je mbe kon don kilim mbe dol be kilim bari colonialism ayam patandi munela dolu safenya anin ko ton safenya so ka kuloni me yalla gonde ka banki ndale ari ka do use kan pour ka woleta ka abalance asi ila ka mel dundige aski no abes ke gambe ka konton ti ani gambe ka toti safenya ani ko mandi nyala but memba ko mo men ko diaspora voting in sospetta ko danalo introduce dia wala na le ministry ko mandi ka ko ni ko ita yaso ka cha tum ko la nyaw me yalla ko be nyim presbyterian daso na wala mu ndenga je sign thing National Assembly bilo bi ka men ko election bill wo election bill ni ay kudo findindi men nyanta ka tija wala banko di mo bek ka ko boda men ko la kam ko drom mu rajel ko rek wala mundi ko ka luwa lu ka ke dada pour ka mune promote wala musel package because carte fayo molel ka low place ko pour ka ni bari mol men ka low place ko pour ka ni dunia be kono la best practice men to la men ko nomination fee ni supposed to be very reasonable pour ni ma sakunda turu la parliamentary members ni alo golle be dibbe mo do ni wato kono la ya pende introduce je men ke ka la faro ke councilor ne alo golle ka wonsa ba ni kalo councilor ni wala ya wasa bana wulita député me alo golle ka wulu la jonu ya wala fa ya samba wuli ku kemme wuli tandu chairman wulta ya wasa ma wuli kemme président ya ni no ya wasa ma ko dal so bu yo click ni ngat na ko so vitamin wala mi ko kapan ipan tara mol kam man sakunda ni go tabi ko ta ngalo ka men ko self application so self application na da dum men ka bla wala mun ko impunity wala mun to mbel wat nyala le mo to ko bala an nona ta watu watu mol ka nyala ko la watu ka banni bari men kana pata ni wala banku ni ko tani banku so wala atuna la fita ko mando ko député bu mon e la wol lon kam ni ya revise mana ya mo ko and mandra nyim foka ko mel like me sirin kamera nyati wala madama foka we mean what we are saying me mem foka nyanga min le ka foko ka te fayo nyanga ka tilinde anda ka tale fairly mana kanya ko monti ma equality mo le kanya an ko ke ka te fay ko men kala nomination kam amanya nakata exoptally ka mo bali kanyini mo me yalon ko kodi ko da male ka ko non pour kam place nga fa namen suru akam wala men ko carte fa ko ku ma me yalon ko nyata kanyini ka dum daji ko londo ani hamola karola ma do men suru ka kala banko wala ka dabla banko la yiwa kodo o mon ko maya wo bar munat nan tele mas ko nan beji ilafta ka priority di financial privilege la then financial privilege mol la man ko la karola wala li fanso do no ika molta ka wol discriminate men yalon ko la ko la karola banko la karola wol bloté ko ko para sta daji ko londo ni hammo be do fu dabal banko la ka ta ko so ñi nga may tan wala mi ko man sa kuna mi ji hansa man lay fan bari la takal loi le loi men nga kele bu solti pour que mol bondi nan katifa mol bondi nan pour que ikane dam la katifa ko la katifa men yalon ko be ku ma yala bakele pour banko ya fanso do anim banko yiro am yalon ko avec la be kan yi wat ko ni na da de kallu anin sa ni ko ya presidential political party ko wo sponsor a political party min la wodi fanso ko la abata la federation million borula wala ya men sa federation million borula ni pen abo kala do ni suno ko ni la campagne ko man kilo ndi be use campagne material sorto anin kata ila monta electoral kata ya ni kata element di basna ko wono so eti ay imagine nyade len moye bo presidential election ko lol ay depends okay as a political party ay dum parliamentary election ko lol just months few months when you depends on presidential ay ni fana kelo parliamentary and this is for what ke so why da ko men bi wala mi ko presidential election ni me ya win mafo ni men lafta ka clean anin to nya tamandi bangola dingol la naplo ibe ngol na but the main experience can be akamanda odoro political party o me ya ngol ma sa sembo ko no ni wo na parliamentary wala ba be ganye ni wo kata mo me kala bango dingol la kan ordinary ndelel be patala because inte most of the people me ya ngata lo ran be mais même so la wol me kala doro ruling party la agenda bod mal pasala whether ay banko din ko don fego bang wala may fego sa est ce que wende fon fego bang amante fego ba nim ko develop ko del membe ruling party amante fana fon fego ko dibe ruling party bi istano opposition so nimbe ruwal ke la kana ki ko men because bi reke e ka so fana so ñi ngat na ko na condemn le amana fana mala ko de bari ngi ko ne pour ko ya device andu mandre ko mandi ka fana so ne fana ko la mais ko mandi kan ne ko ya revise because ni ma revise ndel bari vice ni mari vice ndel bari vice la and wo kana ko de la pam wo mu amanke me wol mas de kam ba dandar la lol because banko kan ay banko no le bula no te believe that wo power ni wo banko do bula pour yo okay so ko dum na be sisi ka wato ngale de ka fano kana lo ma si fa e dimba ma wato no ngam ma dio mo ngala kana so ni ko ni na raji be kon ni ngel men ya lon ko ibanda ko ta ko and belori ne ko ila take dabla banko la iba ko la ita la do independent ita ko daso mulki mun talu ko be Data kala mayo wuli ken yela campagne fa dépense ko def ak keno musol men yalla ko nyanda ka wala represent wonta so ko so wo kamala me dibite bo ko mandela ya ni disoro men ya ni men commencer ten akana ke luati and nyanda ka revise le with immediate effect because don babla na bolo ko bangu dimul mbe wula le men nyanta no woke pour na so masini sa tan ko no america ngal te ngal ke Allah wa to le men ko kana jan ala baraka Any question? Can I say something? I want to say something. Okay, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Sit here.
Kiba bila misal kondo, lakwa mandi ne kola do me alon ko ma da ba ya ti albe ini karo kira saya ko alla ni karo ga karo na ko misal kondo nana kondo executive members of ID card scheme aku ma da ba Haji mo panne bari kudan tan ne bi don la kamen sanan la ko ko katu won mambo ko yalla mo wala mo action point wala mi ko memu ne kala because Haji mem wala membe ke information background ayo di yalla ni ko ko me alon ko alo dale ko ka ay ka skin do dale ko ka ni ko dan mo ne mo di fufula ayo le ko jang kele ako ID card membe di kam bandala bangkol kam Afrika bandala bangkol kam fenne me alon ko tolu malala maka Barrow la masakunda ala NPP masakunda di pareta le ka election on tapale ya ka sunya 2026 afero mo moyti ngame moy Haji la wala mu ko wala mu ko 20 wala mu ko diaspora voting yenna diaspora ko bali carte fayola le aketam albania la you guys reported on that massively bali ko la nata manda babu diaspora is broad based bari ko beta kam banka dan ne pour kata ila ifan ko bo isaju be mo menso bari wobe afrika kan afrika bankol le do bankol mel yalo ko masa kundal le be o mel yalo ko won manque démocratie masa kundal 100% masa kundal le bi mel yalo especially ni ta gabon membe ke kan gabon be ngalo membe ke kan togo be ngalo mun masa kundal le bi me alon ko simol sokondo je e mo kene ke mol mo wuli kene ke mol ye karto dila Haji ako nya ako kontongul ba Suwaneh bari dabo so jani ate banna ni banko mona may manda Senegal because Senegal masa kunda te sonna o tapalea because mbenga mo ni janka ko Senegal deputy one alaji around the border o fundi dalenu ako atela constituency mol ka jamaadi ka to fay so masa kunda ne je mu democratic man kunda so nde ngamen fi de la bar men na wole mu ko barola NPP masa kunda to moment na yalon ko ite election o gagner no la jam 2026 because the reason is we got a 2021 election wala me yalon ko it will make tara karte fayola the stakeholders party nano party sabobe iko yesu nyale and United Democratic Party the main party will tara kitiola le and imam fair here in hila yela kito fay panda that was undemocratic because the number one objective, the number one function and institution of democracy is fair hearing in a free and fair court of law, which was not given or accorded to the United Democratic Party and the other parties up to now as we speak. These three parties, GDC, APP surveyor of Honorable Fall, and the United Democratic Party and NUP, Wolman Song 2021 election. So the election cycle, elections are going to député Katafayo, chairman and mayoral Katafayo and council election ola. Ni NPP man sakunda I fought bela. They lost the popular vote. They fought bela. So how come a Senator Makafu for the election organization? It is obvious the writing is on the wall. But I may have Bankunka. Gambia is for the Gambian people. Don't live Bataka. Balula Kolea member in Bankunka. High cost of living. Ani Masakunda Marabalia and Lua Tanya. May I have a president of family Lua Tanya in Bangkok and other executive. What I can a Senator Gambia Bataka Kato Fire 2026. So if I make a Kato di Luntamola in African countries, Dame Alongo, ni tada fonfu da dobe bafala okay sign diaspora voting sike exceptional diaspora voting wole mu ndiko banko melbe Africa be kodo so kono la pour election okije or the other alternative would be ye transport narin ye bondinali wo banko to yena ye kato ka ye jang 2026 ye gagner election sunya. Take it to the bank. Nde Ibrahim Sullivan Talota wala, and I stand to defend that. Dalilon moment wole ndiko ngamoy minister la mealon ba be Barrow man safunda iko ibe yelo bonna jambaro en najareka. Demba sabali in this size. Apo ibe yelo bonna bona munala ni mol wulita ko ni election o sunya e fundi because ntolu the Gambian people irrespective of whichever political party you belong to dolbe kato file opposition only and ni ko even election o sunya la be fundi la le the following day of elections, who can defend? That means, that is what we perceive, that is what I believe in. So, the fundamental election defend to the latter, and the new because they will use excessive force to quench down. So, what do so 10 men can all be go. Megula Luare Noma, Nalcolunati, Nal Beef, Alsa Fundendi. Masakunda Salon, this is the standpoint of this group, and we are representing the various segments of Gambian society in Mange Patikudi. And Nimbotajang is possible, Ni Pareda Kukata, Congo, Gabon, and other countries. You see protest Kenole, you see Kaito Samba, IDP, Nyatinola Kuka protest. How do you call it? A protest nyini. Membekala peaceful protest. Kuka fundika palamba ya ita. Niwo mankoke. You see court injunction nyini nolen. Sita anolenga court nyini. Nata court. Nyesamba kijiola. Kafo eko court injunction nye bali. Ibe menna isare ko kati kake mandi luntangola. The last thing bekala menti. Pula bango kala menti. Wole menti ko. Ye kati olu mendi Mauritani. Ani bango. Isi comprehensive report dada. Isi report that I have from the Yadi Doman, and the world, you won't catch the table because there is a requirement for you to get the Gambian ID card. For you, look at the solo, while ID, passport solo, while attestation for the man of Hotel Alcalo, in a safe for your sign, and Ibesula GAP, Justice of the Peace, Justice of the Peace, attestation. So you need that. So if they also come on whether they are observing this, whether they are taking this consideration into account in the foreign countries that they are receiving ID cards to, Nile Mudi $1 million collection. Allah Bakaba.
And I'm sorry, we did not use the English language for the mediums that are recorded in English, okay? But feel free to ask in any language you want.
My question goes to Haji. You did mention that the scheme is designed with him to still comment forthcoming presidential election. Could you back this statement with evidence?
Thank you very much. The point, right? There are evidence undeniable. Cross-border voting, we are all aware of it. And I did mention in my statement that we have the experience in 2021 that buses were ferried from Mauritania to come and register in the Gambia. And I was part of people who stood to investigate to know who are those people. Among them, I find an old lady speaking Portuguese, allegedly a Bissau Guinean. And She told me she was ferried from Mauritania. I don't want to mention name, but an MPP senior member was the one who was facilitating their coming to the Gambia here to register for votes. I went with her and the delegation to Bundum, I mean myself, to Bundum police. They were first lodged at govt. When I had it early morning, around 4 a.m., I wake up with 3 people, we went there. When they were dropped, some of them don't have anywhere to go. End up being at Bundum police. Early morning 8, I was communicating directly to that member of MPP, pretending that I'm one of those people who came, but in advance. So they were about to kill a bull for them. Unfortunately, how they discovered it was me, I don't know, but connection was cut off in the inbox. So, having been said that, evidence that we are asking to get Gambian ID card is very simple. The requirements are birth certificate, alcohol attestation, safe attestation, or ID card, or if not, a passport. So, the question this group is begging, why the Gambia government is traveling to countries allegedly to issue ID cards to alleged Gambians who reside in those countries. In countries that Gambian ID card is not even a requirement to apply for their residential permits. What important though a Gambian ID card have for someone who is applying for an Angolan residential permit, or a Gambian ID card for someone who is applying for a Congolese ID card, a Congolese residential permit, or for somebody who is in Gabon wanting to apply for Gabonese residential permit. If not, to go and register and have a data that can aid and abet them to get advantage in 2026 when they introduce diaspora voting based on the laws that we are having. So the question is, there are empirical evidence that we are written on the law for everybody to know that issuing documents in countries that document doesn't have any importance behind that scene, nothing but progress.
My name is Yahya from the West Coast Radio. I want to understand, because you've made mention in your deliberations that this group is apolitical. So we want to know when and how was this group formed.
In my statement, I mentioned it. In Iman, after the revelation made by the minister, during answering a question from a member of parliament with regard to this said scheme, upon his response, it opened a door for concern that has get back to this said group, that is ID card scheme, a great concern. So we are political, although we might belong to political parties, which will not be denied, but the call to form this group was made by people who are not from the same political party. So on that note, we cannot make it or do it under a single political party. We have to come and form it under an alliance, on an agreed name that has been mentioned in the parliament with regard to the scheme itself. So the name is new because the issue discussed here is also new.
So this group is it a legally recognized group? Because for me, this is the first time I'm coming across the name of this group. Is this your first area of intervention? And is it purposely meant for the ID? Because you make also mention of government increasing prices for exactly. So tell us about the group specifically. Are you a legally recognized group? You know, and what do Gambians need to know about your motives?
It doesn't take a group to be legal before you are registered. The concerns make us legal, but we are fighting for something that we believe it serves the best interest of every citizen. We are not registered legally, but we exist legally. When I say we exist legally, that means that it is a right under Section 25 of the Constitution of this country that people can come together and associate. It doesn't necessarily tell you to one register to be legal. But the Constitution provides us the right to be associated to any name that we want, whether registered or not. So to know us best is that we want to fight for something we believe has emerged, and definitely it poses a serious risk to our national security. Not only that one, as you mentioned about issues of election, increasing the nomination fees, it also poses a serious threat to fair and equitable environment to allow every Gambian a right to participate in election, whether you want to vote or to be voted for. So when we see anything that is coming to hinder that right, it is our duty to stand and defend the right of every citizen, whether they agree or disagree.
I am saying myself from the voice newspaper. My question goes to Mr. Ibrahim. Sorry. Yes, you asserted that this group aimed at writing to the office of the IGP in request for protest permit. But we have repetitively witnessed the office of the IGP denying permit to movement or or groups that are not politically aligned with government. So suppose your request is also rejected, what will be your standpoint afterwards?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. Like I told you, protest expressing dissatisfaction over how one's country is governed is a right. It is an institution of democracy. Yes, we will submit a request to the IGP and follow it up in due course within the dictates and the bindings of the law. If we are giving the permission or the permit to go ahead, we will mobilize Gambians irrespective of their political affiliations nationwide, not only in the greater Banjul area, but in all the regional headquarters, wherever a regional immigration headquarter is, we will organize our people and mobilize them to protest there peacefully and submit our petition to urge the ministry, the department to stop, to halt what we perceive to be an illegal exercise that is bent, that has a motive, an ulterior motive of our stealing and manipulating our electoral register in 2026. Now, if we are rejected, we will still come back and sit and see what we are going to do, because we cannot decide that here. We will come back, we will call the executives and see what next. We will also try to sound the minds of the people, the Gambian people, because this is people-oriented, it is people's base. If the Gambian people feels it necessary to go out with or without a permit, that is exactly what we are going to do. Quite reference is to the Gala youths who came out a few months ago without a permit. You guys were there, you reported. They succeeded in bringing government to order, in making sure that government disclosed, even though the report was not an appropriate one, it was not a factual report, but their conditions were met, their leaders were released unconditionally, and there was a report from the presidency. I would like to highlight one thing. The Gambian people have the responsibility of standing up to defend what belongs to them. What their right is, what is their right. The corruption in high places in this country, the killing of our SOEs, our state-owned enterprises, and the illegality that continue to be associated with the presidency have to be stopped by the people. Because at the end of the day, it is the Gambian people that are affected, it is the Gambian people that are suffering the most. So it will be up to the Gambian people. If the Gambian people wants to come out and oppose the odds and the wrongs of this government, the Gambian people will be giving that right, and we will champion that cause. We will be in the forefront. If the Gambian people choose to stay away and allow the Barrow regime, the failed Barrow regime, to do what